dwarf plant. Okay, so what is that? Or yellow and green. Choosing one character is called as a monohybrid cross. Okay, what is dihybrid cross? Choosing two pair of contrasting characters is a dihybrid cross. Okay, let's try to understand this. This is very simple. So first he chose tall plant and dwarf plant. Okay, so stop talking. What will be the F1? F1, what is the phenotype of the F1? Anybody? What is the phenotype of the F1? Tall. What is the genotype? Genotype is capital T, small t, or heterozygous tall. Okay, then there is something called as F2. What is F2? Selfing to F1 is called as F2. Okay, so now for writing this we will put a small cross called the Punnett square. Okay, we call this as Punnett square or checkerboard. What do you see here? What is the ratio of tall and dwarf plants? 3:1. Okay, what is the genotypic? This is the phenotypic ratio. What is the genotypic ratio? 1:2:1. Right? This is very simple. Okay, so the phenotypic ratio of a monohybrid cross is 3:1. That means 3 tall plants and 1 dwarf plant, and the genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. So what does this 1 stands for? Homozygous tall. What does 2 stands for? Heterozygous tall. What does this 1 stands for? Homozygous dwarf. Okay, this stands for homozygous dwarf. Understood? All of you understood? So this monohybrid cross is also called as law of segregation. Okay, monohybrid cross is also called as law of segregation. Can anyone state the law of segregation? Don't you think during gamete formation all the alleles are separating? Okay, so 50% of the alleles will go to one gamete, other 50% will go to the other gametes. Okay, so usually since there are, see, imagine I have capital T, small t. So 50% of my gametes will contain capital T, correct? And the other 50% will contain small t. Okay, this is called as law of segregation. During gamete formation, the alleles segregate. Okay, they don't stay close together. Why they don't stay close together? Because they segregate during your meiosis. Okay, what is a cell division that happens during gamete formation? Meiosis. So during meiosis they are segregating. Okay, that is what we call it as law of segregation. Any doubts here? Understood? Law of segregation, monohybrid cross, both are same. Don't get confused. Okay, then here there is one more term called test cross and back cross. Can anyone tell me what is test cross and what is back cross?
F1 cross.
F1 with dominant parent. Okay, is called what? Okay, then what is back cross? No, wait, I will clear your doubts. See, all of you listen here. This is your P1, correct? Can everyone see the board? So I will write it here. Okay, capital T, small t. This is your parental generation. This is my F1. Okay, if I cross my F1 with either of the parent, any of the parent, okay, that is back cross is capital T into capital T small t, or capital T small t into small t. Either with the dominant or the recessive parent, then it is called back cross. Okay, any of the parent. Okay, simply back cross is a cross between the F1. Stop using your phone, keep it inside. Okay, back cross is the cross between the F1 and any of the parent. Okay, test cross is the cross between the F1 and the recessive parent. That's very important. Now all of you understood? Back crosses with either of the parent. Test crosses is only with the recessive parent. Okay, so now let me put the cross. Capital T, small t, small t, small t. What do you see here? What do you see the ratio to be? 1:1, correct? Yes or no? So this is your heterozygous F1 and this is your recessive parent. So the ratio of test cross is 1:1. Please put it very clearly in your mind. Phenotypic ratio is 3:1. Genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. Okay, and then you have your test cross ratio is 1:1. Okay, three important questions that which can be asked. What is back cross? What is test cross? Back cross is the cross between the F1 and either of the parent. I hope all of you understand either the dominant or the recessive. Test cross is a cross of the F1 with the recessive parent. Okay, so I can tell test cross is a type of back cross. Can I tell it? Okay. So here the same thing that I've shown here. This is a phenotypic ratio 3:1, genotypic ratio 1:2:1. Okay, see Mendel, no, he didn't know that as genes, alleles, nothing he knew. Okay, at that time even DNA was not discovered, correct? 1950 only DNA structure was elucidated. Okay, so Mendel called those units as factors. Okay, he didn't call them as genes, he called them as factors. It was only later that when people studied DNA, they understood that factor and this DNA or gene is the same. Okay, yeah, this all we discussed. Yeah, back cross, test cross will be studying. See, what is back cross? It's a cross between the hybrid or the F1. Hybrid and F1 means the same. And any of the parent is called as back cross. What is test cross? Crossing of an organism with dominant phenotype to a recessive individual is called a test cross. So what is the test cross ratio? 1:1. We already discussed all this. Okay. Why do we do test cross? This is very important line. Test cross is used to find out the unknown genotype of a character. Okay, please make a note of it. Significance of test cross to find out the unknown genotype of a character. To understand whether my parent is homozygous or heterozygous. Is it clear? If the ratio is not 1:1, I will understand that my parent is dominant. Okay, if the ratio is 1:1, I'll understand that my parent is recessive. Okay, so 1:1 ratio tells that my parent is recessive. Okay, clear? Understood? Test cross is used to find out the unknown genotype of a particular character. Yeah, this is what Mendel's first law. First law is law of dominance. Second law is law of segregation. Okay, so what is law of dominance? Very simple. In when there are two alleles, one allele will express itself, the other allele will not express itself. The allele which expresses itself in the F1 is called dominant allele. It is denoted by what? Capital letter. The allele which does not express itself is called as the recessive allele. It is denoted by small letters. That's it. That is your law of dominance. Okay, so characters are controlled by discrete units called factors. Okay, factors occur in pairs. Yes or no? Alleles occurs in pairs. The factor that expresses itself is called as dominant, the other one is called recessive. This is pair of similar factor called homozygous. This is also homozygous. This is heterozygous. Pair of dissimilar factors are called heterozygous factors. Is it clear? All of you understood still here? Okay. Then you have second law. This just now we discussed, law of segregation. So what does the law of segregation tells? During gamete formation, the factors of a character will separate, will segregate. Segregate means what? Separate. Okay, will segregate during meiosis such that each gamete will receive one of the factor. Okay, if there are two alleles, one allele will go to 50% of the gametes, other allele will go to the other 50% of the gametes. Segregation means separation. When does separation happens? During meiosis, during gamete formation. Is it clear? So law of segregation is exclusive only to gamete formation or during meiosis. Yeah, now we'll move on to dihybrid cross. Dihybrid cross means what? Two characters, correct? So here what they have took, round and yellow. Okay, what is round? Is the shape of the seed. What is yellow? Color of the seed. So don't you think there are two characters? Similarly here, wrinkled. Wrinkled is the shape of the seed. Green is the color of the seed. Okay, so these are the phenotypes. Okay, then coming to the genotypes. So what will be the genotype? Capital R, capital R, capital Y, small r, small r, small y. So this is your parents. So what will be the gametes? Ry and small ry. So what will be the F1? Capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. It means what? It is heterozygous, round and yellow. Okay, F1. Now F2. F2 is where many people get confused. Okay. So I will write here R, Y, Y, small r, small y, small y. This is your P1. What is your F1? Capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Correct? Now what is F2? F2 is capital R, small r, capital Y, small y into the same. Understood? Now what are the combination of gametes? You will get 4 combination of gametes. Ry, R capital Y, capital R small y, small r small y. Similarly this side also. Okay, please take this as a homework, solve it at home. Okay, now we will go, I will show you the direct cross. Okay, this is the direct cross. This is how it is. After crossing, you will get this as the ratio. Okay, so be very careful when you are writing the cross. Okay, nothing. R, Y, Y. You have to just multiply and write it. Okay, so capital R, capital Y, small y. Okay, so this is called as Punnett square or checkerboard, however you tell it. Okay, yes. So from this, can you tell me how many round yellow are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, you should know how that is 9. We all know the ratio, but how it is 9 you should know. So 9 round yellow are there. Okay, then how many round green? 1, 2, 3. They are very clearly given with different colors. Okay, then you have wrinkled yellow. 1, 2, 3. Wrinkled green, it's only 1. So what is the phenotypic ratio? 9:3:3:1. All of you understood? Now the genotypic ratio is, they have given this also. See, genotypic ratio. All of you write this down. Many times they will ask. See, remember it like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, 1, 2, 1. In between you have 2, 4, 2. Then again 1, 2, 1. Okay, this is the genotypic ratio. Phenotypic ratio is what? 9:3:3:1. Write down. Just don't see. Only when you write you will remember. The genotypic ratio is 1:1, 2:4:2, 1:1. Okay, remember it like a phone number. Okay. Yes. So dihybrid cross, all of you understood? Cross between individuals differing in two pairs of contrasting characters. Okay, I think all of you wrote it. So based on dihybrid cross, Mendel proposed this third law, that is law of independent assortment. So what is law of independent assortment? When two characters, when a plant or when an organism are differing in two characters, the transmission of one character is independent of the transmission of other. Okay, is it clear? They don't depend on each other. That is why we call independent assortment. Assortment means separation, segregation of two characters. Assortment comes when there are two things. Okay, independent means they do not depend on each other. So read here. When more than a pair of characters are involved in a cross, factor pairs independently segregate from the other pair of characters. They do not depend on each other. That is what is called as law of independent assortment. Law of segregation is, hello, concentrate here. Law of segregation is monohybrid cross. Law of independent assortment is dihybrid cross. Can anyone tell me the test cross ratio for dihybrid cross? So first of all, tell me, how does the test cross look like? It looks like this into this, correct? F1 into recessive parent, that is capital R YY into small r YY. Tell me the ratio. Tell me, do it and tell me. So what are the combination here? RY, R small y, capital R small y, small r small y. Here there is only one ratio. Correct? Here there is only one. So it will be capital R small r, capital Y small y, capital R. Tell me the ratio now. Very simple. 1 is to 1 is to 1 is to 1. Okay, monohybrid test cross ratio is 1 is to 1. Dihybrid test cross ratio is 4 ones. 1 1 1 1. For monohybrid 2 1. For dihybrid 4 ones. Okay, is it clear? All of you understood? Monohybrid, phenotypic, genotypic, test cross. Dihybrid, phenotypic, genotypic, test cross. Very important questions. They will not ask laws and all. They will ask ratios. They will ask you what is back cross, what is test cross. Like that only they will ask you. Okay. Can we proceed? Okay. Yeah, the concept of dominance I already discussed. Okay. The next one will be, see, not everything. See, Mendel proposed it in the 1860s, correct? Later on, not every inheritance was coming under Mendel's law. There were certain deviations from Mendel's law. We call them as non-Mendelian inheritance. Okay, there were certain things that did not follow Mendel's law. We call them as non-Mendelian inheritance. Okay, so there are certain examples. We will start doing that. The first one is incomplete dominance, codominance, multiple allelism, polygenic inheritance, and pleiotropy. So we finished the first part of the lesson, that is Mendelian inheritance. Now we are doing non-Mendelian inheritance. Important questions will come from this topic. Okay, more than Mendel genetics, this is very important. Okay, so let's start with incomplete dominance. What the name itself says, they are very self-explanatory. The dominant allele is not completely dominant over the recessive allele. Okay, so this happens when, where is it seen? Example is important. Snapdragon and Mirabilis jalapa. Okay, where is incomplete dominance seen? Snapdragon and Mirabilis jalapa. Okay, so here is the incomplete dominance. See, all of you, they cross a red flower and white flower. Actually, the F1 should have been red. Yes or no? According to Mendel's law, the F1 should have been red because the phenotype is, the genotype is capital R small r. But the F1 is not red, it is pink. Why it is pink? Because the dominant allele is not completely dominant over the recessive allele. Okay, so what is happening? The red color and the white color are mixing with each other to give a pink color. Okay, so this is your F1. All of you understood F1. Now if I self-cross F1, that is capital R small r into capital R small r, the ratio is 1 is to 2 is to 1. The ratio is not 3 is to 1 anymore. Okay, you see monohybrid cross, what is the ratio? 3 is to 1. Here it is not 3 is to 1. The ratio is 1 is to 2 is to 1. 1 red flower, 2 pink flower, and 1 white flower. And one more interesting thing is, for incomplete dominance, the phenotypic ratio and the genotypic ratio is the same. That is 1 is to 2 is to 1. Okay, so RR is red. Okay, this is a phenotype and also a genotype. Yes or no? These two are pink and this is white. So what is the phenotypic and genotypic ratio of incomplete dominance? 1 is to 2 is to 1. What are the examples? Flower color in Snapdragon and Mirabilis jalapa. They are two different plants. Okay. So this is your Snapdragon and this is your 4 o'clock plant. Okay, so you can see incomplete dominance. This is red flower, this is pink flower. Okay, in between you have this, sorry, this is red and white. In between you have this pink color flowers. Okay, here also you have red, you have white. In between you have the pink color flowers. Why this happens? Because of incomplete dominance. All of you in the class understood incomplete dominance? Okay. Yeah, phenotypic ratio, genotypic ratio, both are exactly the same. Yes, next let's move on to codominance. Okay, so before doing codominance, I'll tell you about the blood groups. Okay, blood groups and codominance goes the same. Okay, who discovered blood group in man? It was a person called Karl Landsteiner. Okay, he discovered there are 4 blood groups in human beings: A, B, AB and O. This I have discussed also in your circulation chapter, if you guys remember. Okay, so what does A blood group mean? A blood group mean on the RBC there is an A antigen, correct? B blood group mean on the RBC there is B antigen. AB blood group means there are both A and B antigen on the RBC. O blood group means there is no antigen. Okay, so this is antigen. So what will be the antibody for A blood group? B. What will be the antibody for B blood group? A. And AB blood group does not have any antibody. O blood group has A and B antibody. Is it clear? All of you understood this? That's why we call AB blood group as an universal acceptor. Because why? Because they don't have any antibodies and hence there will be no blood coagulation reaction. Is it clear? And O blood group is called universal donor because they don't have any antigen on the surface of the RBC. Okay, is this 2 points clear? You see here, there are 3 alleles which are responsible for blood grouping: IA, IB and small I. Okay, so a person with A blood group can have these 2 genotypes: IA, small I. Do you all agree? Homozygous, heterozygous. Similarly, the person with blood group B can have these 2 alleles. Yes or no? Homozygous, heterozygous. Then the person with AB blood group will have IA, IB, and the person with O blood group will have I and I. Is it clear? These are the genotypes. These are the phenotypes. Clear? In this AB blood group, first let's discuss about this AB blood group. AB blood group is an example of codominance. Okay, they can ask you which blood group is an example of codominance? AB blood group. Why do we call it as an example of codominance? Because both A and the B antigen are equally expressed on the surface of RBC. Okay, A is equally dominant to B. Okay, what is incomplete dominant? The dominant allele is not completely dominant over the recessive allele. What is codominant? Co means together. Okay, so both the alleles are equally dominant. That's what is called as codominance. So both A allele and B allele will be expressed on the surface of RBC. Okay, is it clear? That is why we call them as codominance. So can anyone tell me what is the example for codominance? AB blood group. Understood still here? Okay, so this is one part of it. Next part says multiple allelism. Can anyone tell what is multiple allelism? One gene. A character is controlled by more than 2 alleles. Okay, usually for, you see height, you have capital T, small t. Correct? We saw the shape of the round, capital R, small r. But when you have more than 1 allele controlling a particular character, then such kind of inheritance is called multiple allelism. Is it clear? So you have 3 alleles here in blood group, correct? IA, IB and I. Okay, so what is multiple allelism? More than 2 alleles controlling a character is called multiple allelism. So what is the example for multiple allelism here? Blood group. Blood group in man is an example for multiple allelism. What is an example for codominance? AB blood group. Is it clear? What is an example for incomplete dominance? Snapdragon and Mirabilis jalapa. So they will concentrate on examples. Okay, clear all of you? So